everyone, and welcome to another Into the Void Real Review. This time we are reviewing The Last Showgirl, starring Pamela Anderson, Jamie Lee Curtis, and Dave Bautista. It is worth noting that this was directed by Gina Coppola, who is the granddaughter of Francis Ford Coppola, the well-renowned director of such films as The Godfather, Apocalypse Now, and the more recent Megalopolis, but we don't speak about that one. Right off the bat, I will tell you that The Last Showgirl is better than that movie, but the bar is low, so let's be real. That's no small feat. The Last Showgirl falls into a similar vibe that ironically The Substance has, albeit it is more grounded. After all, there is no miraculous wonder youth drug that Pamela Anderson's character Shelley has access to. But I'm jumping the gun on what exactly this movie is about. The movie centers around a Vegas showgirl act known as the Razzle Dazzle, facing the prospect of closing after 30 years, and what that fallout is for Shelley, an aging showgirl who has known nothing more than the thrill of dancing in extravagant costumes that leave little to the imagination. A circus threatens to take the place of the show and causes Shelley to have to look into finding new work in an industry that favors the young, and not only that, but has moved past the classic showgirl act and into the more modern era of dance, whether that be grinding or being more crude and sexual in nature.
Our show is legendary.
It is, but Razzle Dazzle, it's old. It's the last show of its kind on the strip.
That's what makes it so special, the fact that it's the last one. It's a show. The costumes, the sets.
While I do joke that this movie could learn a thing or two from Demi Moore's body horror movie, The Substance, there is no denying that both movies share similar themes, those themes being what do aging women do in industries that favor the young. The Last Showgirl examines this in a microcosm, but also in a macrocosm as well. After all, the showgirl act is a dying industry and is in direct competition to the new younger entertainment industries. Think of it like movies being in competition with the newer form of entertainment of video games. The Last Showgirl wisely focuses on the personal effect and less the impersonal side that the closing of the show means for not only Shelley, but everyone, the young and the old performers. There's obviously this distinction that the younger girls will have an easier time finding work, not only because they're younger, but are more in tune with the more hip side of dancing. There is one standout scene where one of the younger showgirls, Jodie, played by Kiernan Shipka, gives Shelley an impromptu dance lesson on what the cool kids are into these days. It's funny seeing Shelley's disgusted reaction to the chair grinding and split posing. It's a case of the pot calling the kettle black. After all, the showgirl shows are known to involve in nudity, even if that nudity doesn't involve the same kind of moves that the new modern dances have. Later, you see Jamie Lee Curtis, who plays a retired showgirl, and Shelley's slightly crazy friend, Annette, do something kind of similar on a dance floor in a casino she works at. It's one of the many scenes that Jamie Lee Curtis steals in this film, who is nominated for a supporting actress nod for a BAFTA.
You know, you could always get together with Eddie.
What? Oh my God,
You
that's
could.
a first. Who are you?
Hey, Tony, I need a Jack and Ginger.
Hey, we're cutting the floor. You
What?
and Esme can go home.
Who's staying?
Jennifer and Jessica.
Of course they are.
Her performance reminded me of the one she had in the series The Bear as the alcoholic mother of Carmen in that show. She channels that same energy here in this film and is the standout performance because of it.
I make things beautiful for them. And no one makes things beautiful for me.
Pamela Anderson does not bat herself, considering she had been MIA in the acting scene for a while. Funny enough, she almost lost out on this role because her agent turned down the script without showing it to her. Luckily, her son got a hold of the script and showed it to her, which she quickly expressed interest in. Let's just say that agent is no longer her agent. Good thing she took this role because she's able to manufacture the inherent desperation that she finds herself amid the closing of the show, and also the estranged relationship she has with her daughter, Hannah, played by Billie Lourd, who you may recognize as a familiar face on the anthology series American Horror Story.
Did you come in here to rub it in?
Turns out Dave Bautista, who plays the quasi-director of the Razzle Dazzle, Eddie, has a part to play in that whole debacle, but I'll not spoil that for you. Brenda Song as Marianne rounds out the cast as the younger counterpoint to Shelley and plays probably the sanest individual of all the dancers. The look of the film is adequate for the story that is told, but one nitpick is that Gia Coppola is a little too formulaic in how she intersperses tense, dramatic scenes with musical interludes of characters walking about town in a melancholic state. It's a little overused here, but honestly, it doesn't detract from a relatively brisk film of an hour and 30-minute runtime. I overall enjoyed The Last Showgirl for its performances by the entire cast, and the story was interesting enough, anchored by a solid performance by Pamela Anderson, who plays a woman who just wants things to be like they used to be back when entertainment was simply being sexy and dressing up in glitzy costumes. But unfortunately, time has caught up to her, forcing her to readjust to a new, younger, and more modern audience. Hey, it could be worse. Just watch the last 30 minutes of The Substance. The Last Showgirl gets a 7 out of 10 from me. Guys, let me know what you thought of The Last Showgirl. Let me know in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and all that nonsense, and I will see you the next time when we venture into the void.